Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Cities Skylines. Today's episode is not going to be a complete fail like the last one. My oh my, what happened there, eh? Oh dear, we tried to do something that I didn't realise was quite so complicated. We tried to build this sewage facility on the island over here and it really just didn't work out. I couldn't do it like in the photo and we're just going to forget about that and move on. What we're going to do now is actually focus on the challenge of this entire world, which is to have separated islands and to connect them together with public transport. And we're going to do our first experiment in that. Now this island right here, I did say I was going to use for industry because we have all four types on the same island, which I don't think ever occurs anywhere else. But we're going to unfortunately scrap that idea because this island is kind of ideal for something that I want to do, and that is to just have our first island have a mix of offices, commercial and residential, and all of that should fit into this island together quite nicely. So I've been thinking about the layout. What I'd like to do is have two roads that run through the middle like this. We'll actually make those curved because curved roads are going to be a little more interesting. Now we're not going to make them massively curved. I'll tell you one thing we could do though is put down some guide roads first of all and make sure we get the curve right both times. I'm not sure how we're going to make this work actually. So let's say we drag out a straight road like this, and then we say at the end we're going to go up. That was weird. My screen just freaked out. Don't know if Fraps caught that. We're going to go up by 2, and then this is where we've got to do a little bit of calculation. We've got to go over by 2 more. Let's go back by 1. You might see what I'm doing here. Then we're going to go all the way over here and then up by 2, right? So these are going to be our 2 curved roads. Now what we need to do is actually create a point for each of these. So if we drag this one down by 1, that one down by 1, then we're going to demolish this road and that road and all of these as well. We only need the 2 points. Okay, let's be careful. There we go. I didn't want to destroy the entire road. So we got a top point here and a top point there. Actually, that works out pretty well, I think. And then we're going to have our roads curve. And actually, no, I failed because we need a point to link to somewhere here, don't we? Okay, so how long is this road? It is 1, 2, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So around 4.5 is where we need another marker. So there we go, we've got our markers in place, and I was just thinking, do we want this to be a one-way road system? I don't think we do at the moment. We're just going to focus... Where's the grid lines gone? Why are they not there? I think actually it's because we were using this tool. Nope, okay, the grid lines are gone. Maybe I'm just being a bit of a derp. And then we're going to bend over to there, and then if we do the same thing here... These are not going to be quite as parallel as I thought. Actually, yeah, they are pretty parallel, aren't they? That's nice to see. Now if we have a look at our grid... we should be able to see... Oh, I've done highways. That's why we didn't see the sections. I accidentally clicked on the wrong thing. Let's just upgrade to these roads then, like that. Hopefully that doesn't cause any other problems with the roads being repositioned or something like that. So now you can see we're going to have space there for the buildings to not conflict with one another. This thing could have probably been a little bit closer over here. So that's a nice start to our roads, I think. And where else they're going to connect from here, I don't know. But this is going to be our main strip for commercial buildings. So we're going to put high density ones on either side. Now we could zone it all right now, and it'd be interesting to see what happens. And just for the sake of finding out, we're going to do exactly that. So all of that is basically going to be commercial. These roads are going to wrap around and join each other on either end. Going to do something interesting with that. And there you go, they're developing straight away, so we better slow the game down and perhaps pause now while we do the rest of construction here. So there is one thought that I've had about this, and that is if this is isolated and we have a metro to get people back and forth, by the way, the metro is going to go here and over there, so hopefully there'll be a nice distribution out to the rest of the city. We'll also design a grid for the buses to take them out as well. But if we are only bringing people here, how do goods get over here? Because they're not going to be manufactured on this island. And I think what we might do is have a train station. Now that'll just be for the beginning. Perhaps in the future when we manufacture goods within the city, we'll connect them to the city. But what we'll do is use this line over here. And we'll bring it through the mountains, which is going to look very cool, all the way down the middle here. And maybe somewhere at the top on this end, and perhaps on this end as well, we'll have a couple of depots that can pick up the goods and distribute them into the main city. So it's going to be an interesting layout, but for now, I'll place down some more roads and we'll get a better idea of what we're doing. So I've now de-zoned all of this because we want to kind of build it out from where the power comes into the city. Goes across the water like that. It kind of looks ugly. I think what I'll do in the future is maybe run it over the hills here and have power lines sort of go between the motorway. But anyway, this is what we're going for. And we've got our rail line going through the middle of this just in case we need it. Some big roads, as you can see. And what we actually need to do next before we let the game start doing its thing is put in some of those pedestrian paths, because we're going to have some bus routes, and I think we're going to have the bus routes use these as well. So obviously with the roads going like this, it would be a good idea to put paths in between anyway, just so people can walk from there to there rather than drive all the way around there. That makes a lot of sense. However, using the pedestrian roads from this mod, we can have our buses drive down alongside it. Why did that change? Let's turn off the auto snap and create a little road going right here. I guess it doesn't have to be like perfect or anything like that. Does this thing also cross tracks? Apparently not, or maybe it does. Let's see. Yep, they're also going to cross tracks. That's going to be interesting to see. And we're just going to bring it all the way across down to this side over here. There we go. So there's our first footpath that buses can also use, so they can go through the middle there, and that means a lot of people will be able to walk down to the edge of their road and get anywhere on this island, which is pretty cool. And yeah, the layout. I've got the bigger road around the outside. We're going to have 2 rows of offices over here, and then this area is going to be residential. On this side, due to less space, we've only got the 1 road going across. But then I was thinking we'd probably build residential areas filling out this area over here. So at the moment, the city kind of looks a little bit ugly, I think. However, you'll see as we connect it all together, it's probably going to look a fair bit better. Goodbye to you. I'm also thinking about making this bit through here with the train tracks kind of an overhead type of thing, because let's make this one go a bit diagonal so it connects like that. Because I think it'll look a little bit cooler if it was raised up, because we're going to have a load of buildings here at the moment, and I've noticed the game kind of looks a little bit odd and strange when it's like this, but once you get the buildings in there, it starts to look pretty good. So we're going to copy what we did on the other side and have it start to go diagonal. And there we go. I think that's a pretty good job that we've done right there. There's probably other places we're going to need paths as well, but I will analyse that. For now, let's resume the game and let's get some buildings going. So we're going to start off with what's going to be around these areas, which will be offices. So we're going to put our offices in. Let's get the fill tool. All of the ones along here. We'll start off with the full blocks and I'll figure out the rest of them later. You know how it works. You put some roads down, some pathways down the side, and then you open up some more block space. But then on the opposite side of the road, we're going to have the big commercial buildings, and these are going to act like a noise barrier as well. So there appears to be very little demand for these things at the moment, or at least nothing's moving in. And connecting the power grid might be a bit of a problem as well. I'm not sure if I want commercial residential buildings around the outside here. We're going to go with low density as well. So we need some more office buildings. Let's put in a few right there. And how can we connect these up? We're just going to have to bring the power over and disrupt the grid, I think, like that. And that'll be temporary. So we have a couple of really cool looking stations, by the way. That's metro stations. And man, these grids, they do kind of annoy me the way they separate like they do. Let's just zone it like that. Get all of these ones, and the power grid should connect across. Now, there is no demand for residential, which is kind of worrying, because it means people are going to have to commute here. And there's 6 out of 6 workers. What? How is that possible? 8 out of 8 workers. Where have they magically appeared from, eh? How did they get over here? These have got workers too. What's going on? It doesn't make any sense. Huh. I think there's some evidence right there that this game may be simulating a little bit, or sort of estimating more than simulating. But there you go. So they've got some customers, and I swear my screen just flipped upside down again. I don't know what is going on. Anyway, this is the metro over here. It looks pretty cool, right? Custom asset. I really like this because it's above ground. You know, you've got your station to get down in the middle, but then there's something cool and interesting to look at around it. So we've got one over there. One over here, and we haven't put one in the main city yet, so we'll probably do that just to connect all of it together. So let's have a look. Which one is it? Is it that one? It is. It's the inner city metro. And where would be the ideal spot to put it in here, eh? Because everything is pretty condensed and compacted. I think somewhere around... maybe actually we should put it in a commercial zone. Maybe over on this side. So let's have a look at our zoning. There we go. That spot right there I think might be our target. And we're going to have to get rid of something else to put this in. So in order to build the tunnels, you actually need the original metro station. So we put another one over here. We've got the fancy one over there. Let's close this and have a look. There you go, fancy old metro. And then our normal one is just over there. Doesn't look anywhere near as good, does it? Doesn't at all. So they're connected up. We've got a single route going between the 4 stations, just back and forth. So that should actually bring people, physical people, over here. Except these aren't turned on. So let's turn that one on. And the one on the other side. And now we should be able to bring customers over. So they need power. That's going to be a right old problem, isn't it? So multiple problems. What are they? Number of customers visiting the building is low. Shelves are getting empty. So we need to bring in goods from over here. And we need to bring people across. Okay. So we need to get power over there. Let's do that by adding in some more commercial buildings. We'll just zone out that bit and that bit there, and then on the opposite side, and then the power grid should be able to connect up and get over to that area. So now we're going to have to connect this rail line up and turn these on. Right, we've connected the train line up, and let's just look at this for a moment. Tried to make it as realistic as I could. Had to do a little bit of terraforming over here, which was confusing. It feels like these things change every time I use them. I don't know what it is, but every one of these right here seem to be changing the slope really dramatically rather than steadily. So I tried to keep things realistic. This turn here I think is a bit much, and then also you got this dip, more of a roller coaster. But we got the bridge just about right here. I think that looks really nice. Lots of big flowing water from over there. That looks ever so cool. And then this turn right here, very unrealistic indeed, but then the rest of it is pretty cool actually. It kind of hugs the mountain a little bit, and I had to play around with the heights, you see, because going from this bit over here to over there, the actual height of the road would bring it all the way down. So we made it higher on this side, and then it kind of looks like it's the same height going across, but there's a difference height in height from the ground, if that makes sense. So that's kind of leveled out very nicely, and it looks really cool. I like that a lot. I think it would have been nice perhaps if this little cage had extended over to the next bit as well, but that only seems to be for when it goes above water. So anyway, that's how that bit works. Looks pretty good, and now they can bring goods into the city. So let's turn this on, and we'll just get the one going for now. It also needs some power, so we need some more buildings nearby. I guess maybe we can get away with a commercial one right here. Hopefully that will help it spread across. Not quite enough, is it? What we'll do is we'll put in a little park. That will help spread the power. Let's see. Okay, that did it. That connected the power. We can also see people walking back and forth. The occasional car has managed to find its way over here, and people are now shopping, but you can see we've got death problems and garbage problems, and so we need to create some incinerators. Something I hadn't really thought about, and where in the city they should go. I think maybe up the top here we'll build like a road that goes alongside this one, like a little service road, and it can go up onto the hill, and maybe there's an incinerator up there. So let's grab this tool. I think this is the best for making nice curvy roads. Maybe you want to make this one go above ground as well, sort of alongside the train tracks. So let's go up to the same height, and then around like that. Okay, that might be a little bit ridiculous, but I think once we get these incinerators on the hill and there's traffic travelling back and forth, it's going to look pretty cool. So there we go. They're going to need some power and some water as well. By the way, I did put in pipes for this area. Let's take a zoom out and have a look. There you go. Also, incinerators generate electricity, so do they run themselves? That's an interesting thought. Yeah, I did it like this so it's nice and efficient, cover everything, you know, no pipes sort of going in all sorts of directions as we expand. And there are a lot of dead bodies there. We are playing on full speed, so maybe we shouldn't do that. But this road curves up around that hill really nicely. I like that a lot. And yeah, I like the way they go alongside each other here. And then it goes down all the way down to the bottom. So that's looking real good. Now we need some crematoriums in the city as well. So I think what we'll do is we'll put, let's take DP's one right there. Maybe put one right here and then one on the opposite side. They can also use the road directly in front of them, I think, because they're going to be a service building, which we might see in action straight away. However, they are going to need some power. We've also got people living in the city. I forgot that we did this. We zoned this out, and now there's power over here as well. So let's just grid up a little bit more of this where we can. Although that definitely has power. So it's not taking the road down the middle, and neither's that one. Maybe those buildings can't actually take them. Also, it's sent out cars and it doesn't have power. Interesting. But yes, we're taking care of two of the problems in this part of the city now. which is good to see. We also built 2 incinerators over here. That's probably overkill. I was just looking at our budget dropping down. Let's actually turn one of those off. And yeah, it looks like they power themselves as well, because there's a power grid there and no power issues, so that's cool. Let's speed it back up. Do we have goods coming in? That's something I haven't seen. There we go. They're coming round to pick things up. That's good to see. Oh, screen flipped upside down again. I need to go and check and see if that appears in the video, because it's such a strange little bug. And yes, it feels like we've probably covered the main issues that we're going to encounter now. This thing over here desperately needs power, and also they're coming over to pick up the trash, although that thing just disappeared. Yeah, it feels like now is maybe the time to zone out. Crime is a problem over here, so let's build police headquarters to cover the entire place, although we should compare it against the regular one. What kind of job do you do? A pretty good one, actually, and it'll be able to use those roads in the middle, so maybe we don't need police headquarters. We'll put one of these down right here on the middle. So I thought I'd add bus lines for this area. Turns out it's going to be a little bit tricky. You see, you can put a bus stop on this, and you can put it on either side of the road. However, once one's in place, it seems to be really strange about trying to put it on the other side of the road. So that kind of means you've got to go one way. Now, I was thinking also having the bus stops here should be fine, because pedestrians are the people that are walking to them. So if they're not on the roads, that's cool. But then I don't know what to do when we get up here. I basically think we're going to end up with it just going in one direction. If we try and add another line after, let's complete the line. Let's see what happens now. Can we drag to add, create new line? Can we create it on the opposite side? That to me looks like it's on the opposite side. So if we go all the way to the top, it should come down, and then can we put it on this side over here? Doesn't look like it, does it? So on that side there, it's only going to the one side of the road. And down here, apparently we can put it on both. Actually, no, it is facing that direction. I really thought that was on the opposite side. There you go, look, it looks like it's over to one side. Now I think it actually is. No, it's going in the same direction. Okay, so we're going to have a one-way route there. We'll put another one-way route on the other side. Won't put one in the middle, just because I don't know what's going to end up happening. And that's kind of unfortunate, isn't it? But anyway, we'll do the same thing over here. We'll create a few lines, and then I'll show you how they're going to work. Okay, so this is the system. We've got 2 lines on these roads going in opposite directions, all around like that. Then we've got ones on the outside doing the same thing, just one on either side going in opposite direction. Put one down the middle here as well. These 2 go up, this one goes down, and now I'm just wondering about these roads. But I think for the most part we've covered it pretty well, and also the stops at either station. This one over here could be opened. Actually, no, it needs power first, doesn't it? And I think we've got power to the police station. That's good. We've got some upgrading going on over there. That's nice to see. Not 100% sure why, because there's not a lot going on in this area. So now the main problem is not enough goods to sell. So we know where the goods come from. Oh, apparently that probably burnt down then. That's kind of worrying again. So we need a fire station on the island, that's for sure. So let's bring in another cargo bay. And is it me, or did I perhaps select the wrong one? No, I selected the right one. But now we're not going to be able to plop it down. Yes, we can, and it returns to normal. Okay, so we also need a fire station. Let's go and put one of those in the middle. Let's see how its spread works. I don't know if the budget, like the spread of the budget, is affecting that. We can do this, and we've probably done it before. Let's go and look at what it would be like when that's all the way down. Aha! So it does. It does make a big difference. So let's put that somewhere in the middle. There you go. That's almost 100%. Let's go and select fire. And I'll tell you what, for the extra 50%, it doesn't half seem worth it. The amount of spread that you get. So 150 on that. And yeah, that almost covers the entire city. So, we're going to put it on the opposite side, just on that little corner over there. The grid should connect together, and that's another service that we have in this area. So the people should be happy, and now we really want to start zoning a lot more of this stuff, but not too much all at once, just because we're waiting on those goods to come in. So we'll be able to see that in a second, but let's just put down a few more buildings. What do we want? Still a lot of demand for offices, so we'll put down a whole bunch of those as well. But let's try and get the power, I say, all the way over to this station. So we'll just zone them up bit by bit going across. You can see here I need to do some work on those paths so things can connect. But this should almost be enough. There we go. I reckon it would get all the way across like that now, but we'll put in some offices for good measure as well. So all of that down there. And so I've just turned this area into a district, which is called Birdsong Square. Not very suited for what we're doing here, but anyway. let's go and put high-tech housing on. I think that would be cool for this area. And we should see a load of these guys down the bottom here start to upgrade. So I was looking at where we're going to put our parks. And I found this one that I got off the workshop. A neo-Romanesque church. Romanesque, that's the word. And I thought this would look really good in the suburbs down here. So I'd like it in the middle, which means we're going to probably knock out these houses right here. But maybe a centralised position isn't so essential. Can we put it there? No, that would have been a nice spot. How about we get it alongside this road? Man, there's a lot of places here it doesn't like. There we go. We'll put it right there. And then we're going to zoom in and have a look at this thing. Also, let's zone some of the areas around it. Hopefully we can get some housing right alongside it, which I think could look really cool. Yeah, so, first person camera mode. In we go. And how does that look? It looks very, very nice, got to say. Lovely detail on that. The scale, though, I feel like maybe... Have they got it right? It feels like it could be a little bit bigger. But compared to this building over here... Actually, I'd say the scale of that is pretty good. That looks nice over there on the corner. Do you know what? The city looks so much better from down here than it does up above. Look at all these people hanging out at the bus stop, waiting for a bus, outside the crematorium. I think that's the crematorium. And it looks like they're all waiting for business here, doesn't it? But obviously they're waiting for a bus. That reminds me. That does remind me. Let's exit this view. We made all of those bus routes, and then I was going to then build the bus depot, because we wouldn't have any over here until we built one. So I think the place for it to go would be over on this side. And it doesn't like any of that, because that's part of that. So what about the opposite side? We've got a little bit more room here. We have. Let's put in the bus depot. Let's exit this view and watch all the colourful buses leave the station from first-person perspective mode. Of course, this is going to be a pleasant old view right here. That really does look awesome. I wish I could slow it down. Do the number keys slow the game down? They do. Awesome. Look at that bus doing that sharp turn. It's like he's going to tip over. Oh, I bet you if you tried that, he would. In real life, of course. There we go. Let's speed it back up. Oh, getting stuck inside one another there. How many buses are going to come out now? Oh, and they're stacking on top of each other. That is bizarre. And off they go. And now this place is probably going to be bus hell. Let's zoom out. And wherever we look, we should see colourful, bright buses. Yes, absolutely everywhere in the city they are. They're causing backups by the look of it. But the good thing is we shouldn't see any people waiting. So let's go back over here to the metro. Except no one's arrived at your stop yet by the looks of it. Whose job is that? Let's bring open the buses. Oh, there isn't a bus stop. Why are they all hanging out there? Is that just something they do in this game? Do people just go and hang outside the crematorium? Where are we at? Where are we at? Let's open up the menu. Okay, it's over here. Couldn't quite see it from up above. Huh? No one's hanging outside of this one. Okay. Okay, and what about the one over here? Where is it? There it is. Okay, a lot of people are hanging outside this one, including a dog. So, okay, apparently that's something they do. I didn't know, but now we do know. And this place is coming along real good. And we've got some big buildings here in the middle now as well. Awesome. I like that very much. So we did good this episode. We got things off to a start. And so far it seems like this is going to be totally possible. Although we are relying on importing goods from outside the city, but once we get an industry on an island, we'll be able to import them from our own industry, hopefully. But it's good to see this system working. At the moment, I'm yet to see a single passenger waiting on these walkways right here for the buses to pick them up. So we might cancel those lines. Like I said, I'm going to keep my eye on that, though. But that's going to be it for this episode. As always, if you've enjoyed it, please do leave a like. It would be greatly appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching this video. I have a second channel where you can find additional videos of my Twitch live streams. If you're interested in watching one of my live streams, then come over to Twitch and hit that follow button to be notified of when I go live. And if you're not subscribed over here on YouTube, then feel free to subscribe for more content like this. I also have a creative plot world server, play.xisumavoid.com, where you can build on your own plot and join in the fun with our wonderful community. And if you like social media, then you can interact with me on Twitter at xisumavoid.com. Links to all the relevant things can be found in the description box below.